And welcome back. It is now time for the grand finals of this Gamers for Giving tournament, Cap. We have our top two teams ready to fight NM versus Bread.
And this was a close set the last time these two teams fought. So NM going to have to lock in, be ready for whatever Bread is about to pull because they are feeling hot after that last clean 3-0 from the previous set over in Losers Finals. And remember, this went 3-2 in favor of NM last time they fought.
Yeah, it was very close, but NM was able to get the victory. And I mean, these two teams very, very evenly matched. And I like to say, Bread is the kind of team that we expect to win this tournament. NM, they play different. They do something else. They're incredibly good as well, and it seems to be working today. Can it work twice now? Bread, as you said, coming stronger, coming with momentum. Is NM still warm? They had to wait for quite a while.
From what I heard, they were in X rank, so they're probably still warm, right?
Okay.
So I mean, look at all that chip on this, especially this opening map where on Mahi, where it's so small. So having that blaster with that bow, with those chumps, possibly, if those come out, in such a small area, it can be pretty difficult when you're trying to push up and take space. But it is Bread that does take the first cap of the zone as those chumps come out, and we lose that chip combo with the blaster. So Bread going to hold this here, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, we're fighting in a hallway right now for control over the zone. Bread is able to keep the zone painted as the fight is raging on, and they're winning the fight as well. NM is forced away from here. Medi trying to survive, activating the cooler to just keep themselves alive a bit longer, and NM is still trying to go in, but we're past the 50 points, and Bread is still in control, Scap.
Bread using those strikes to keep that cap as they get the picks of the three members that dropped on that left side. We're getting below the 30 tick point as another member of NM goes down. Bread having this crab and that splashdown ready to go, ready for whoever dares to drop.
Last chance for NM right there. Bread is holding that zone. 10 ticks left. Splash down, slowing everything down. And with 3 splats, that's a KO. That's a wipeout. That is Bread commanding game number 1.
100-0 as well, Pat.
Yeah.
Showing that they're still locked in and they're ready to steamroll, right? I don't think we're going to be seeing close Rainmaker games between these two teams.
I don't think so as well. Right there, Bread just absolutely dominated that game. Didn't let NM really set themselves for what they wanted to do. And I mean, a weapon like the Tri-Stringer, which NM likes to run as their backline, likes to be in the right spot, likes to hold the space and control how things go, benefits a lot from the other team being a bit too slow. Bread didn't give them time to do that, didn't let them have that right there, and NM now needs a big answer if they want to deny Bread their victory.
And we have like you mentioned, the bow with the chumps, and that they need to, at least in my opinion, granted these players are a lot better than me, they need to take advantage of a comp that plays off of chip. You want as many players alive as possible at any given moment because more players are up, the more potential chip combos that you have. It sounds simple, but on paper, when you have opponents, waiting for you to get a little bit too close to a ledge or waiting for you to drop before they pop that splashdown, I mean, they could take you out at any moment, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, look at that counter pick. Was NM watching our previous set, Gab?
We're gonna find out, right?
I mean, I know that Snipes, aka Mesmerizer, is going to switch to Wellstring on here, and Wellstring is so powerful in Rainmaker. It absolutely shreds the shield in just one shot or two. You absolutely get the pop for free. So I feel like NM is going to gain a lot of speed from going on Rainmaker, and that's speed is what they were lacking in this previous game.
I mean, but let's talk about something similar that we saw against the previous team. You're going against Soldier on that bucket, on the bucket map, right?
Yeah.
That could be something. Granted, we will see the back with the wellstring. That tells me that when we see pushes, they are probably going to be over pretty quick. We're going to expect to see that vac coming out, probably shortly after they try and go for pop. And look, we got a Luna Blaster as well on the side of Brad.
I mean, here's the thing, Skep. When you go against Brad, either you go on a map that's wide and open and you get splatted by Yoshio, either you go on a map that has lots of ledges and you get splatted by Soldier. There is no good map against Brad. And right there, Brad is already taking control around the Rainmaker. Thanks to the Luna Blaster, they're going to have a hammer to go through 3 down onto NM. And Brad is going to push in.
That is something that came to my mind as well, right? When you're talking about dealing with the wellstring, you're dealing with that hammer, you're dealing with that object damage. You need something to be able to counter that. And that Luna's going to do such a fantastic job at playing around the changes in geometry that we see on Humpback and having that hammer for repop. And the strikes here as well, getting that repop. Brad's still in control, throwing that Rainmaker just a little bit forward, getting 24 remaining.
Yeah, but here comes the defensive power of the wellstring. With all of these arrows, you can't really be where the wellstring expects you to be. That's the Rainmaker is sitting there though. Oh wait, they didn't manage to drop it. That is big. Red is still so dangerous, Scare.
And here they are cooled as well, so we're probably going to see someone running in here trying to go for some cheeky points before that Rainmaker resets. But regardless, I mean, they're still really in control of that elbow. Splash not getting any picks on Jasmine or the other player that was further to the right. NM having 4 specials online, so this is where we're probably going to see those quick pushes like I had mentioned. We have that back ready to go, and the Luna Blaster getting shut down from behind, and, let's see those specials come out.
Yeah, and right there, 2 down onto Brad. It looks like NM are finally able to get some momentum, to get some presence. The lead is not that big. We know that nothing is safe on this map mode. Now, can NM push into the street? They have a Rainmaker grab, but here comes the hammer.
Wow.
Well,
I could have sworn they were going to go down to the Rainmaker there. I was like, oh no, they're throwing the Rainmaker, they're throwing the hammer, they're dropping into the Rainmaker blast. How did Bro live that?
Yeah, nice dodge, but it was not enough in the end. Red retake control of their side of the map. There's still people from NM to control mid and control over mids. The team that controls mid controls the next push, will be able to decide when they can go in. They have the vacuum at the ready to help with that as well. And with the splat on the splash, they're in the right position to move forward. Ooh.
And now this back comes out. They're in control of the elbow. The strikes are out as well, but not enough with the back. NM getting the 6 remaining and having the back shot for repop. Ecstasy there, shooting at the Rainmaker, trying to pre-fire it, as well as Soldier trying to prevent them from grabbing it, but it's just the bucket. Mendy going in, getting the dunk. Oh my gosh, on that destructive map mode that Bread seemed so capable of winning, shut down by NM.
NM really found that one push to get the victory, and that's what you need in Splatoon, especially in Rainmaker, of course. With the bubbler and the vacuum, they knew this was their occasion, this was their moment to do the deed and to get the KO. That's the answer by NM. We are now 1-1, Skep, and remember, NM, they have to fight Bread on their counter pick now, but they also have one big advantage, is that they won in the upper bracket side, which means they only need to win this set in order to be your champion.
I think we're going to a bracket reset. The reason why I think we're going to a bracket reset is I think Bread is thinking. And like, okay, Luna, very good on Humpback, right? Hammer, very good at Rainmaker Pop, right?
Yeah.
However, there's one more thing that special does, and it shuts down that back. And so what I think we're seeing is Bread trying to find something to deal with the 96, right? And shut down that vacuum.
Yeah. I mean, we on that last push, we saw the 96 shut down the hammer and then get the vacuum to completely enable the Rainmaker to get right under the final checkpoint, the final platform. And I mean, that's the trump card by NM. Bread needs something to stop that 96 for sure. They need to shut it down, and
yeah,
they have the tools to do so. We know that Bread is very much able to bring any weapon to the table, and this is where their choices are going to matter. Now we're going to tower control on Inkblot Art Academy. That's a classic map mode, Skep. We've been casting that map mode for years now.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where, like, you think, like, okay, we've been playing this map mode for years too, but, you know, it's Splatoon 3. So many people have come out of the woodworks. How many people actively playing the game were actively playing during Splatoon 2, right? I got a question, you know, how true that old... I mean...
we still see it. It's still a classic. Yeah. It's still very much a classic.
I'm trying to say there's been a lot of changes up at top level. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, if it's good, if it works, don't fix it. This is a good map that's fun to play and gives us great games to watch. So I always love to see it, Skep.
Me too, especially here in Grands, right? Going into a 1-1 set on a map that is so familiar and so cozy to so many players. We know everybody's going to be capable of bringing their best to this map.
Yeah, right there. It looks like NM is bringing the tower to the first checkpoint already. Now, they're not that far up ahead. The vacuum will allow them to get onto the platform, but it's a bit too late. All of Red has respawned, who's be taking control. The tower is going to be stopped, and will go back into mid. Red, oh wait, and Red cannot! Missing their retake of the tower as NM is still pushing forward.
It seems like we everyone assumed, no bro, you get that splat on my ramp, right? No, you, okay. That's what that looked like to me. And then, you know, we see all that time being used and NM being able to come out of spawn, and now we have these chumps out. That's going to make it a lot harder to swim and hit your shots when you're dealing with those AoE weapons like a bucket and a blaster, right? Oh, I take it back. The bucket's doing just fine. Getting 3, 2.5, and the blaster cleaning it up. That's a delayed wipe for Bread. My bad.
This is time to push in. Bread is in position. They have their blaster going forward with the help of the crab as well. And they're breaking that checkpoint. They're going to go to the second one. The vacuum will stop them with a splat on Yoshel. That is big. Bread is not really able to get to the checkpoint either. I mean, they got the lead, but clearly they are not going for the lead. They wanted that check.
Right, yeah, and you know how quickly, you know, each one of them folded in some way, right? You know, and here comes that vac pushing in with, I mean, frankly, no one in front of it. So they're by themselves. You know, Jasmine tries to go in and assist, but doesn't. They only manage to take one out with that special and both of their lives. And so now we see Bread cleaning up that left side and perhaps moving forward.
You don't want to use that vac by yourself. You want at least one teammate to play off of it. And now it's Bread that's pushing in, that's trying to get some control back. And they're looking at their way in. Ooh, very nice jump away by Soldier with the bucket. They're still very much on the attack, but with 2 players down, it looks like NM was able to hold, was able to punish and not let Bread get... Oh wait, Bread is still in there. They managed to respawn.
Yeah, but Jasmine, they're touching the tower, going to start pushing that forward and bringing it back to mid. So Bread's not able to clear that checkpoint. 2 members down on the side of Bread, but you know, let's see what they do with that crab on that door area by their grate. You know, we're seeing the scrap here for the stack, right? Because, you know, once we get the stack, we could potentially start looking towards that step. But, I mean, they're taking their time.
Yeah, both teams very patient. They know they need a good push. They need to be able to take control of the opponent's top of the map if they want to be able to push past this checkpoint and score the big points right there. And both teams trying to win the fight around the tower, as Brett got behind the tower but got splatted for a 2 versus 2. Anything could happen after the next fight.
Crazy splashdown jump, by the way, and then the slosher jumping out and living. Like, the timing of that, the frames, very beautiful. A minute left in the game, and nobody's broken the second checkpoint, Pat. I think it's safe to say whoever gets over there next probably wins the game.
Yeah, probably, but if nobody gets there next, Brett wins the game. That 10 points lead that was looking very small, that was looking not that important right there. It's looking bigger and bigger, especially since Brett still in control, going in the slasher, dancing around. That slasher is splatted, but they took so much of that attention. The rest of Brett is taking space, Cap.
Yeah, and that's only the ball left standing on an M. Where the blaster's looking for that pick, doesn't manage to get, but Medi going in from, or Jirachi going in from back, cleaning up that last player as Fred breaks that pivotal second checkpoint and starts going to score additional points. Anything that helps them have more buffer time in the event that NM claws their way all the way back through mid. Oh my gosh, this could be it, Pat.
It looks like it's pretty rough for NM. They're trying to survive, but they need to get on the tower. They are on the tower. Now they need a miracle push if they want to go in. Overtime is on, but they're hemorrhaging players. They're losing so much, and that's Brett stealing the deal with a player on the tower. 2-1. I mean, you said you thought we'd see a bracket reset right now, Brett. They agree with you. They want it to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Soldier there on that bucket, on that bottom right side, getting all of those picks in mid, and frankly, the jumps that we're seeing out from Brett, the repositioning, oh no, I'm gonna lose this fight, let me out, just how quickly they're willing to jump out and then just take that space again once the opponent feels like they're no longer there. I thought that was really well played from Brad. I mean, well played from both of them. It was a very close game up for the first 4 minutes. But who gets the better push, right? It only takes once.
And we saw both teams throw a player forward on the opponent's platform for what looks like a losing fight. But both teams were using that player forward to try to take space, to try to give time to the rest of the team to go in. It's just that Brett did it better. Brett did it a bit more and was able to get more space. And when it mattered the most, they were able to take extra space. They were finally able to take that checkpoint thanks to that kind of play, which means they're now up 2-1. One more game would reset the bracket and would tie them up with NM.
I mean, it was that one wipe, right? And the bow mesmerizer was doing just such a fantastic job of denying space, like holding those choke points, whether that be the step or whether that be over on slick. Wherever they were firing, you could not stand. They were not letting you. So that pick on the bow, really went miles for Bread to finally be able to break that second checkpoint. And beyond that, you could tell they felt pretty comfortable, with just going in and taking their trades, especially with GG strikes from Soldier, which they didn't even need, right, at the end of the day.
Yeah. And one thing to note, Skep, we mentioned earlier that there was a donation match in progress on Tiltify. If you want to give for Gamers for Giving, that donation match is still active. You still have 45 minutes left. Any donation you make to Gamers for Giving will be doubled thanks to Squiddaddled. So yeah, that's still the perfect time to donate to a good cause to help kids recover in hospitals. And but all the pressure is on NM. They have selected their map mode. We're going back to Splat Zones.
And this is a mode that Bread won on very decisively, 100-0 over on Mahi. Granted, very different map, You have a lot more places to hide, a lot, more flanks to take, where Mahi can sometimes feel like you don't have a lot of angles, especially for the first half of the map. So Robo, different beast.
Yeah, and different beast also because these two teams fought on that map mode at the end of the upper bracket finals. That was the game 5. That was the game that gave the victory to NM. So they're going back to the map mode where they won. We'll see if Red has learned from their mistake, if they have a counter to what gave the victory to NM. But let's get right back in the game, Skep. No surprise in terms of weapons. We knew they were going to bring that. Let's get in the game.
And we're not seeing anything this time to deal with the back, right? And we're not on Rainmaker, we're not seeing a Luna come out. And so this looks like it's going to be a fair fight.
Yeah, right there, a crab tank is deployed by Brave. They want to take their control, but here comes the vacuum to completely keep that crab from really getting anything going. And then takes early control, and with that looks so scary. But I know it works, but it looks so scary for that pencil.
That takes some level of courage, my friend. Yeah. I did not know you could do that. Thank you for opening my eyes.
Yeah. So that explosion from the vacuum, it's stopped by the smallest ledge, and it looks scary, but the smallest ledge is good for you, right there. So yeah, and I'm still fighting. They're going to be able to apply penalty. Our two teams are still very much in neutral step, trying to really get the upper hand.
NM getting control of that zone with their incredibly small penalty, going to be able to start creeping towards Bread's points. And we can see Umiha trying to go in there and take that elbow. And beautiful picks there out from Yoshel to prevent that, right? Bread, all 4 players left standing as those strikes come out into the zone, and they're going to keep NM from pulling lead here.
Yeah, and now Bread is setting themselves in front of the zone. They have the right position to stop NM from coming back in. The penalty is about to end. That's a lot of points in perspective, but and already a splat and the vacuum coming. NM is back on the zone.
They have the crab out from Bread. No, I'm so sorry. The pen going down with right after they pop cooler, and here comes the crab. It's a 2v2 situation for mid. We see the blaster going in, trying to get the picks, but forced to jump out and reposition. Like I mentioned with Bread and that repositioning, like the blaster is already back in play.
Yeah, it's non-stop action. Bread is very much able to always come back faster, always be in the next fight. And as another vacuum is deployed, we're going to see so many vacuums. The two teams are still fighting, and the splashdown is allowing Bread to fight for the zone once again.
And very nice picks there out in combo with that splashdown, right? The zone flipping into neutral, we see Soja has those strikes. Those strikes do come out as the bubble does. So we know that they're going to be sheltering in that bubble, but the strikes completely denying that. Umiha, the last left standing, and forced the back.
Yeah, that's the lead for NM, but that's such a small lead, and Bread has no penalty. They're already back, making more points. The crab tank is countered though, and NM is already pushing back in. These two teams are not stopping. We're always in a fight, Skep. But that fight is won by Bread. Once again, Bread holding the lead, getting more and more points. What last chance for NM?
And here are the strikes, right? As soon as NM starts looking forward, we know those strikes are going to come out to shut that down. The pick on the splashdown, it does matter, right? Because now you don't have to deal with the blaster, but there are those strikes. You have to outpaint all of them. You have to outpaint a pen with a split disadvantage, and that is an uphill battle. That's it.
And that's 3-1 by Bread, beating NM on the map. They lost the upper bracket finals on. That means we're going to reset the score 0-0 between these two teams. But right now, it's Bread, the team that has the momentum, Skep.
And speaking of momentum, this is a charity tournament. We have a $50 donation doubled from Vowels saying, thanks IPL. I will throw in a thanks Dapples there too. You know, this is a collaborative effort. But thank you, Vowels. Thank you for your kindness. And
Yeah, thank
Squadaddle
you.
for doubling it.
Thank you very much to everybody donating. Big or small, your donations are very much appreciating and helping a lot. But yeah, we have one last set to watch, Skep. One last set to know which of NM and Bread will be able to get the crown.
I did call it with record reset.
You did.
I'm just seeing some brain cells working pretty hard, you know.
And we're going to start with Hagglefish Market as the neutral map.
On zones.
Yeah.
We saw Bread win both zones games, right? Vowels throwing in another $25 with a thanks Dapple Productions.
Oh,
you're appreciated, Vowels.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vowels. That's so generous. You didn't have to. But yeah, that means we're past the $700 now. That's huge. But our teams are already starting, and as you said, Bread is the team that is strong on zones, and one reason for that is that Bo doesn't play as much as Pencil.
But the Blaster is duking it out on that side, and it is Bread that's going to come out with that victory. And look at that. We can only see that 2 drakes have been got from that cooler. So that means a lot of denied utility where we would have seen NM looking for momentum off of that special.
NM with the vacuum was not enough to cap zone, but the fight is right next to the zone right now. NM were able to set themselves there. And the big question is, can they get back on beat? Can they get the feint? That's a big question. Past the 50 points mark, they need to go forward. The Booyah Bomb is not enough, but with 3 splats, Bread is finally out of here, and NM is in control.
Bread has that cooler very quickly, ready to go off of spawn, and we're seeing the pick on Jasmine as the pen here moves their way forward, trying to push past where that vac is going to land. We have all 4 players up from Bread contesting that zone, but can they get the pick on Jasmine? Jasmine, who's there keeping them from entering, she does jump out and reposition towards that right side. So NM, with that delay too, going to start working their way back in, and Hagglefish, typically back and forth. Again, just the pen left standing.
Yeah, and look at that NM, not wasting a second. All of them are forward, trying to get more. The splat on the pencil is so important. They deny range, they deny feint, they deny cooler. That is so big by NM, and they're going to get the lead off of that Bread right now, scrambling to take back control of their own spawn. Now activating the crab, they'll be able to paint the zone, but I mean, they had to concede the lead, Skep.
I mean, if you concede the lead and, work your way forward and it's clean, and you manage to get that cap, and get picks, it could, sometimes it doesn't matter. But what I wasn't seeing out of there was the picks, right? We got in, we got the zone, but we didn't get the opponent to go down, and look how quickly NM takes it back.
Yeah, I mean, Bread used all of their specials to get the zone back, which allowed NM to still stay in the fight, stay around the map. Now Bread is going on. They keep fighting though, and they're still around the zone. But it looks like we're back to a fight for me. The team that's going to win the next team fight will have a serious option on victory.
And here we go, we see the splash. The Zap getting 2, now going in, possibly getting a 3rd, but they jump out. NM realistically barely holding on to their lead there. Very beautiful clutch from that Zap.
Yeah, great moves right there by NM. Bread is forced to wait a little bit more before getting back. 2 players down on NM though. Bread should be able to get back to the zone, to get back zone bait, especially with the triple splash down. That's a penalty applied. A minute and a half left. There's still time for Bread.
Umiha has that back out to go. Medi goes in, does assist with another pick. We see the Blaster coming in, getting it 2 under Ecstasy, and it's just Umiha. So Bread getting the cap and clearing penalty. This is their lead.
That's the lead, that's delayed wipe, that's so many specials used by NM for no result. Bread is in a great position with 1 minute left in the game. The crab tank is going to slow everything down. NM is forced to wait and they don't have the time to wait. They need to get on the zone right now. They're almost here and they're able to cap it. It's not over.
The strikes coming out just a frame or two too late to contest those chumps. The chumps, before they even explode, providing the paint for that cap, buying themselves a little bit more time. But now their backs into the wall. They have to acknowledge this player on the bottom left who's getting in to go for a flank pat.
Yeah, and don't have specials. Okay, they are going to have to use everything. Oh.
That's the player from the left. Ecstasy coming in and getting 3.
Oh, you can't ignore a blaster. You can't ignore a blaster. I don't think NM can get back onto the zone now.
If they do, they're going to have to win their ones here as we push in with 10 ticks left in this game. The cooler coming out, but they're looking for the fights when the zone, they're begging to be painted. Not going to happen. Wow. Bread winning that, but NM looked like they were going to take it for a hot minute.
NM looked very strong, very dangerous, but Bread were able to really shut them down and stop things. And I mean, Skep, at this level, both of the teams are able to get huge pushes, are able to set themselves in control, are able to set themselves in the perfect position, but there's always a comeback, and there's always a way back in. That's what we see over and over. And now the big question is, who is able to make the most of these big pushes? Right now, it looks like Bread is getting a little bit more out of their attacks.
Sometimes all it takes is one player saying, no, we're not losing this game. And Ecstasy there on that flank, just the second player started looking too far to the right. And, you know, shifting their attention away from that flank, coming in and getting, or at least assisting in 3. While we didn't see that directly, I mean, you could see the impact of it, right? Beautiful play.
And that's the pressure these players have to handle. Because we're in grand finals, we're in bracket reset right there with so many people watching. And these games are so close, and I knew they had to look at the zone, but they needed to keep an eye on the side as well. At some point, there's so much pressure, you can't pay attention to everything, but it looks like NM wants to have to look at the side still, because they're going to hunt back Pump Track.
Again, on Rainmaker, they say Western players don't like Rainmaker, and yet I have seen more Rainmaker being counterpicked in this tournament than I've seen played in years, Pat.
Hey, a counterpick can be about what you like, but it can also be about what your opponent doesn't like.
Oh man, I think the Rainmaker in the splash tags says a lot.
Oh yeah. But there's still people that are going to like it, even if it's only because nobody else does. And right there, NM are playing off of that Rainmaker. And I mean, we've seen Snipes, aka Mesmerizer, with the World String. We've seen what NM can do on this map mode. And Brett knows that one mistake could be a KO for NM.
I'm just saying, I liked Rainmaker before, it was cool. And, you know, NM, I mean, we gotta remember, NM absolutely crushed it, you know, in the last set. But it was 1-1, right? I mean, there was 1 point differential that was keeping them from pulling lead. So it looks like NM's looking for a repeat of history here. We do see NM winning that fight to control top mid here in the opening, but they have yet to touch the fish.
Yep. And both teams just trying to get control around making sure that their grabbing of Rainmaker would mean a checkpoint. They don't want to give splats to their opponent. And the fight is still raging. Ooh, but the fight, it looks like that fight is broken. Ecstasy to the side.
Yeah, and playing the sides of the map, forcing NM to turn around and, you know, hey, look at me or don't, right? And the crab here preventing a defense up on that top left as those strikes do come out. But it looks like we're just starting to. Whoa! Okay. Whoa! A lot of specials coming out. Ideally to move the Rainmaker forward, but I think we could have maybe gotten a little bit more points there. I don't think that someone was ready to grab the Rainmaker.
That's a pretty nice opening push by Bread. NM knows that they need something big. The Rainmaker is getting reset, but the fight for mid is raging on once again, and lots of players are getting splatted left and right. And then they want to keep their vacuum, but they're not able to yet. They get sent back to spawn as Bread are on top of mid.
Yeah, and we did see NM standing on top of each other there. And frankly, I'm surprised two of them didn't go down there. The Rainmaker here on this right side, having to deal with that bubble, and also now that back as well, keeping Soldier out from swinging that elbow. But I mean, look at all this paint that Bread has in mid, and they are getting the picks, and that's all that matters at this point. I mean, just keep NM out of mid.
And with the lead that they have, that lead is not safe, but they can still play patient. They know that they have all the time in the world. The pressure is on NM to go faster, to get something going. And right now, NM is doing exactly that. They're just dancing around, trying to get splat after splat. It looks like they're able to set a path onto the checkpoint. They're so close to it, and with the vacuum, they will be able to at least break through. Now, one good action, a few good splats could give them the lead, Scap.
And they know that Soja is in mid, so they're not there to defend the elbow, right? As I say that, speaking of repositioning out from Bread, oh my gosh, they grab the cooler and then just drop right back into mid. And now we have those strikes, right? The hammer going down as the strikes do come out, the back allowing NM to pull lead there very narrowly, but regardless, I mean, it's Rainmaker. Now NM is the shoe is on the other foot, right? All they need to do is keep Bread out of mid, and I think they can do that.
Yeah, right there. It's a lot of splats going at Bread. They no longer have time to wait. They no longer have time to do anything but look forward, try to get things going. The hammer to the side to stop them. The Rainmaker is stuck here. We're about to enter the last minute of the game, and the NM is hanging to their lead. And
shutting it down. The wipeout in favor of NM as they get that Rainmaker pop as well, and they're going to have Cooler to just take whatever risks that they so please to keep the Rainmaker on the other side of the map. That's what it's going to be right now. 2 members down on the side of NM as that Luna tries to take the fight to top mid, but I mean, it 2-2, right? Oh my gosh, they're all gone.
Bread not able to stay on the map right now. When it's about painting around and waiting for their opponent to make a mistake, they're so strong, but right now it's NM very much in control of the pace. With 20 seconds left, Bread needs something big. Bread needs to really shut things down, get control of mid and push forward. Oh, 2 down! That could be the occasion.
And here we go, and the strikes are coming out as that back is as well. But it looks like they live that stamp throw as we head into overtime. Umiha popping that back behind the Rainmaker. Jirachi going to move forward a little bit, trying to stay alive against that. But remember, they are cooled. So Bread can carefully take some risks here to try and allow the Rainmaker in through that elbow. Medi going in, trying to get the big bubble is out. That's the biggest nervous that! The blessing. Jasmine got that pick. Oh, I'm so sorry, Pat.
Hey, overtime on this map mode is so rough, because going through that choke point, your opponent knows that they only need to look one way. You don't have the time to go around the map to make that long flank. You have to play that choke point, and at that point, that's where especially things like the well string, you can't go through. There's so many arrows being raining down on that one specific spot of the map. You can't go by.
In a team like Bread that was really doing such a good job at repositioning, you don't have time in that situation to reposition and go for that left flank. Especially when you have this back keeping the Rainmaker from going forward, you're having to deal with, where are they going to throw the stamp? Where is the wall string going to stand? And then finally that bubble really just sealing the deal at the end of the game. Allowing them to get paint down to prevent the Rainmaker from moving, right? The Rainmaker needs to move. It's got to live, right? And so the bubble, while not being in the choke point, being on the snipe, allowing them to choke them out with paint. And so that was really well played from NM. I think NM stands for nom nom, the way they're eating bread, especially on Rainmaker. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how you counterpick. You go to a map mode where you'll be able to perform, and we see that right there. One thing to note, Skep, we are at $700 donated. Our objective, our goal for this stream is $750. We are so close to it, and given the fact that Squidable is doubling every donation still for the next 26 minutes, just donating $25 or 5 times $5 would be enough to get to that goal, Skep.
It could be you. It could be anybody watching this right now.
Mm-hmm.
It could be you.
It could be you.
We're going back to tower control. I think that's courageous on the side of Bren. I wouldn't call that last victory on tower control Inkblot comfortable.
It wasn't comfortable because both teams struggled to get to the second checkpoint, but only one team got there, and it was Bread. So you could say that NM is struggling more than Bread. I guess these teams are really picking the map modes that they expect their opponent to be unhappy with, which is honestly a strategy.
But it takes one play, right? And that's all it takes. And so, sure, you got the one play last time, but can you do it again?
Skep, it's Splatoon. It takes one play, whatever the map mode. It's always going to be risky.
But it really was just one.
That's different. That's NM with the double bubbler and a pencil, completely different comp. I mean, they're changing something, and I like what I see. I don't think Bread was expecting that.
No, and that bubble, is going to deny a lot of utility, especially from that crab. The pen too. It can't take pot shots at a bubble. So Bread only having one player left standing, and they're going to go down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
And that's first checkpoint already for NM, and NM just put a bubbler on top left. NM is very much going in. I don't think they'll be able to get to the second checkpoint yet, but they're getting that in the first minute. We take those. Very, very nice opening by NM.
We do take those. I'm going to want to see, those strikes denying the bubble, like right there. I'm going to want to see, the splashdown denying the safety in said bubble. Bread does have tools to deal with the bubble.
Sure.
But here is the crab, right? You could really shut down a whole value of a crab with a single bubble, and that's what makes me nervous for Bread.
Yeah, well, Bread is not nervous at all. They are pushing in. They've gotten the lead. It feels like the last time we were on this map mode, Skep. Both teams able to very early get the lead, but neither team really able to get past that. Now the big question is which team will get that one push that gets past the checkpoint.
Blaster v Blaster trade there in mid underneath that ledge. As those whales do come out, we see a splashdown nearly ready as NM gets to that first checkpoint. But the Blaster on the side of NM is poking just everywhere that they possibly can to try and prevent Bread from getting set up.
Yeah. Blaster has become such a staple of the competitive scene, and I like to say I'm bad with Blaster, but every time I play it, I'm having so much fun. So I'm so happy that it's good.
Yeah, it is a very fun weapon. It's not fun to fight.
For sure.
But NM here on the tower, heading towards the second checkpoint with that bubble
Ooh.
ready to go. Medi
Yeah.
going in, getting that bubble popped out as the strikes from Soldier just deny it, completely shred it.
Both teams getting incredibly strong, getting forward. That looked like such a good push by NM, but Bread reacting perfectly with the strikes, with the players on top of the tower. They shut it down. 2 minutes left in the game, and our two teams are just 2 points away from each other, Skep.
I mean, they knew what they were gonna do, right? Did they react, or I mean, did they proact, right? Knowing, like, when they have bubble, where are they gonna pop it? I don't know, at the second checkpoint that they need the full lead. Alright, have strikes ready. But now they're not gonna have strikes because they get the pick on Soldier. So, NM moving to the left side, the bubble is out, you know, before they get there, but regardless, I mean, you got those strikes off the board.
Yeah, but they were not able to run ahead of the tower. They are not able to get control of the top of the opponent's platform. They won't be able to extend their points right there. Bread is defending too strong for that. We're about to enter the last minute, Skep, and that lead.
Flashbacks.
I'm having so much flashbacks.
Bruh. Alright, you're doing this to us again, huh? Alright, the cooler is out for Bread. That, you know, we are seeing a little bit of a repeat of history, but the question is, will Bread dare inch their way towards that second checkpoint? We see them going in, trying to get the pick on the Umiha on that left side. They do. Two members down on the side of NM as Yoshel takes shower, but Jasmine is there to shut that down, saying, I remember. And oh my gosh! The Ecstasy is gonna get that pick. Yep, Bread's on the tower. We're going.
And that's a wipeout for Bread, who are pushing. I've seen this before, Skep. Bread going to that checkpoint in the last 30 seconds. History repeating itself. And
I just saw this movie.
And NM defending as much as they can. They know they can't let Bread extend their lead. They can't let Bread get that checkpoint. They need their overtime push, and they don't want to have to break the checkpoint while doing so. Right there, 5 seconds left, and then they have to stay on the tower now. They have to stay on the tower. 3 down on Bread. Wait, it's not over, Skep.
The sequel's looking a little bit different. Wait!
Never mind! It's not.
Okay. Let's go, Blaster. I was sure you were cooked. You were alone in mid, and yet here we are, Ecstasy clutching up that game.
Hey.
I was so sure it was gonna flip.
All it takes is one play. All it takes is one player, and that player is Ecstasy.
That's the same thing on the Haggle game.
Yeah.
Right? It was just like, no, we're not losing this game. I'm getting that pick.
No. Yep. Not happening. Not today. And that's 2-1 for 2-1 for Bread, and now Bread are on match point. 1 more point would give them the victory, would give them the Gamers for Giving 2026 crown.
Yeah, we got 1 more game, possibly, maybe 2. We don't know. We could have, you know, a God tier counter pick coming out of NM. You know, a God tier play coming out from, you know, any of their 4 players. We just don't know. I do know that we need $50 to reach our goal, though.
Yes, we do. And this could be the last game. This could be your last chance to donate to Gamers for Giving. Anything's possible. We rely on you. But right now, all the pressure is on NM. They need to get their counter pick going. They need to choose this next map mode. This would be, whatever happens, this is their last counter pick of the tournament. And we've seen them go to the map that that Bread doesn't like. What is the next pick now?
Are we going to see more Rainmaker? Perchance? I mean, that object damage on NM is looking pretty cute. Right,
they like it. And I know Snipes loves to play Rainmaker with that well string.
Yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna pull out. We're sitting here yapping, and they're thinking, you know, the singular Splatoon player brain cell. That is affectionate. That's right. We all only have one. You only need to count to 4 to get a quad, right?
Exactly. Well, right now we're still waiting for the counter picks. Hey, there's so many map mode, and that neuron is working overtime for
A lot
NM.
more
They
than
know.
4 map modes.
Yeah, and that's the issue right there. And they know there's a lot of pressure here. They need the victory. Switching their comp was not enough. It did not work for the tower control game. So I don't think we're going to see them bring back the pencil. That's Clam Blitz though.
Ooh.
That's off. Since we're starting yapping, Skep, I don't think we've seen a Clam Blitz game.
No. I don't think so either. I mean, I know so.
Yeah, that's our first Clam Blitz of the day, Skep.
So I'm pondering my orb, and my orb is telling me that this map also really likes Vac, because if you can get that Vac set up in that elbow, I mean, you're playing a very similar, geometry to Rainmaker Humpback. Narrow space.
Yeah, it's
somebody's in that cone. They have nowhere else to stand if they're an elbow, right?
Yeah, and that vac is perfect to get your team under the basket. There is no better tool to get under basket than a good vacuum. The explosion can allow you to absolutely destroy the opponent's snipe if you aim it right. And that's the kind of thing that could give a big edge to NM. But we haven't seen these teams on the Clam Blitz, so they could change their comp. We know that they have lots of different weapons in their pockets, so I'm really curious how these two teams adapt to a mode we haven't seen yet. Well, not much of a change on the side of Red. They know what they do can adapt to anything, and NM is going to stay with the tri-stringer, get back to the tri-stringer and bring back the comp that they've been using most of that tournament.
And we're still seeing Amiha on that 96. It is very solid, not just right now, but on this map mode. And Red, sticking to what's tried and true. Let's see, what this opening looks out, because if NM, comes out really strong here, we might be able to see a glimpse of their game plan.
Yeah, right there, both teams fighting for me. The Super Chumps are there to create some chaos. That's they're going to secure a trade for the team. NM has a Super Clam ready, but they're so far back, I don't think they really have the opportunity for a push yet. It's Bread that has good positions with that pencil to the side, but they don't have the clams.
No, but it's NM that has the clams, but look at where they're at. They're so far back. And oh my gosh, the angle from that pen. Are you kidding me, Yoshell? Simmer down. I know it's tournament point.
And they're very much proactive. They're very much going forward. 2 down onto NM. The super jumps are not enough to stop Red from opening the score and the basket. And they keep that advantage going. 2 down onto NM. NM is keeping that super clam alive. And they're using the vacuum just to keep themselves in snipe. But they need to move in. They need to get back control.
Oh my gosh! Ooh. When did they form that power clam? Getting to 30 remaining in an opening push is huge, Pat. But look at how quickly the paint in mid is shifting. Mesmerizer has that power clam. They did manage to keep that in play. Now they have this cooler, and they're completely in control of mid.
Yeah, right there. NM have finally taken their positions. They've finally taken some space. But there's someone to the side. There's always someone to the side. And NM can never rest easy. I'm never safe right there. They're keeping themselves alive though. They still have that super clam, and with the vacuum, they're getting to the basket. Now with the bubbler, that's 2 super clams in. They're scoring good points, Skev.
If they deal with Soldier here on the flank, that is huge. They do. We're going to see Medi go in and get some clams in that basket, enough to stall, but not long enough for somebody to grab that pity clam out of spawn. Mesmerizer left alone in mid, but does jump out for the reset, possibly to start playing defense here, because again, we see Bread having control of mid and so much paint on the ground.
Yeah, and that's still a good push by NM. Like, Brad got a
Yes.
fantastic push, so they still have the lead. But NM is still very much in the game, and look at that 2 down onto Brad. NM has the momentum right now. They are able to get space, to get paint. There's a lot of clams between the whole team. They will be able to mount something as long as they can keep that momentum going. The splashdown is not enough to stop them yet. Brad has their control over their side of the map, but NM is not that far. And
Ooh, chumps? Oh no, the 96 getting the pick. I could have sworn it was the chumps. I did see NM jumping out there when Bread started throwing all of their specials out, and that served them well because now they have their bubble, now they have their bag, they have a ton of clams, and it only takes one or two clean picks here to start a push. Oh.
Yep, but they just lost their backline and their blaster, and they're just lost all of their clams as well. That's a delayed wipe by Bread, which means Bread is the team that's getting on the basket. Bread is the team that's going to extend their score as they open it up again.
Umiha has that vac and uses that to stall out the members from painting their teammates' way into elbow. Jirachi does have a clam, but not enough with all that paint on the ground to extend what Soldier had put down in that basket. They clear penalty, but nothing else.
Yeah. But not extending their lead there could cost them a lot. Going into the last minute, everything is about can NM get another push, and if NM can get under the basket, that free super clam that they just got is going to help them a lot. Now the big question is, can they get on the basket? The vacuum is here, the blaster is trying to get through, but there's 2 players down on the side of NM. There was people behind them. They open the basket, but they can't get control of the space.
It's the flanks, right? The flanks coming out from Bread, preventing NM from getting that push. Now here we are with just a couple of seconds left in this game. I mean, we are going to see overtime because NM does have that power clam, but Bread has so much control. These strikes are coming out. They're going to prevent that clam from moving forward. And, despite the fact that Bread does not have any clams, you got to cover the entire map in about 8 seconds here. But they just might. No, the crab. That's it. Woo! No. Just not enough time.
They were going across the grid, but then the vacuum was activated, and like they wanted to push with the vacuum, but the vacuum was in such the wrong spot that completely threw them off for their own team fight. Bread gets the victory 3-1, which means they are your Gamers Forgiving champions. And they win the whole tournament. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations. Very good crab at the end of that game to force their opponents to look at them. And like you mentioned, just that split-second decision saying, I'm with you, but just your greatest opponent in Splatoon isn't the players on the other side of the field, it's the clock. Right, you only got 20 seconds to work with, and we saw Brad playing that clock very well. Crab lasts like 8 seconds, so good stuff. Love to see it. Really enjoyable games that whole set, regardless of what the scoreline turned out to be.
Yeah, and we can thank Kathy with $10 that is still doubled by a Squidado to bring us to 720. And oh wait, just happened! Breaking in, we get extra money. We got past the 750. Our goal, we're now at 765. I don't know who. It looks like it was $25 by Ravik. Ravik, you've been so incredible today. Thank you so much. The gluten gods, the witty winners, the bread bosses.
Oh, wow. What a fantastic set. I mean, we got to see a bracket reset. They were close games. I mean, how often do you see in grand finals a 3-0, right? And it's like, okay, bye. No, we saw many good games.
Yeah.
Everyone did so great. Congratulations to Bread, NM, and their previous opponents. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
Blanks.
Forgive me. Blanks. Thank you.
Yes.
I drew a blank. Sorry, blanks. You guys did great. It was really good.
Yeah. We've had such incredible games, and a reminder to everybody, if you don't know what to do against your opponent, flank them. Go to the side, flank them, but you'll get a surprise at some point.
Makes the map wide, flank them. Beautiful. Love to see it, and I love to see everyone's generosity today too.